Hello, friends and strangers, and welcome back to Hell is Us, exactly where we left off. In front of the ruins, next to Timeloop over there. And, well, let's just get into it. We have a lot more to figure out about this entire town. We still have to go into the church, we still have to explore whatever is going on with the statue. There is also, I'm not sure if we're completely the graveyard. That was it, right? We have to turn all the eagles eastward. So yeah, let's just get it started without too much time wasting. I am actually very interested what's up with these ruins, because we have the big statue that also directly tells us, like, hey, something in the past was going on. This was a big special place, and we know that potentially the queen is buried here. But I'm expecting something more, potentially, as to, like, why is there so much of this here? You go away. Oh, that hits up there. I'm starting to really like this mine. It's actually much more efficient than I gave it credit for at the start. At the start, I tested it out once and I was like, eh. Didn't really say much to it. I was more interested in, like, the mechanics of it, like, does it explode at some point just like that or something? But now that I'm really getting into it, I'm like, actually, this thing is quite useful. It's like really good. Bestowed upon the noble house of Ravita by the master sculptors of the Second Lodge of Terror, may it stand eternal as sentinel over our fate. Okay. I think I literally questioned that when we entered this area of, like, if Ravita is that his noble house. That answered it. But it also talks about Second Lodge of Terror. The queen's screaming face is green, so it has something to do with terror, probably, because terror is depicted in green. The limbic sphere of terror. Oh, we're gonna do the ruins first. But yeah, so a lodge. So there are people like that formed entire organizations around what these limbic spheres partially mean. Can I link to you? I can. Can I just drain you like this? It takes too much energy. Okay, no. But we can. Ow. Oop. We tested that before. It doesn't go up. It doesn't go up. God dang it. Ow. Well, not ow, but still not necessarily good. You can stagger hazes. I don't think that I managed to do that before. Have I ever done that? I mean, maybe accidentally, I just may have never noticed it. And we are back to knee-high walls of absolute protection. Where do we get in here? Oh, you're down. Thank you. No? Back to that attack. You can dodge it, I guess, but it's just like... The first dodge was kind of fine. I only got, like, hit like by one or two of the projectiles, and then the second dodge was mistimed and got hit by everything. So yes, you can, But you need to time it perfectly. We're not getting in here at all. Again, I was making a joke last episode, but like, knee-high walls of absolute protection, that's... I'm gonna just be honest. You could make this just big walls to really wall it off, but no. We're just gonna do these little things. We have to go there somewhere else. Can we get in here at all, or do we have to go through... No, there's an opening. We don't have to go down into the tunnel to even get access here. One thing I definitely don't fully like about this weapon is, as fast as the two follow-ups after the first is, like the second and third attack, they are stabs. They just go forward, and you have too many moments of just enemy groups where it's just really helpful if you have like wider swings, and this weapon just does not provide that. I mean, it's not necessarily like a terrible thing, it's just something to be wary of, to know that like this is how it works, be careful not to overcommit. Kada page. Ooh, a page torn from the Kada, the holy book of Sephirism. And after a span that stretches beyond reckoning, an age or mayhaps longer, for he remembers not, at last he halts. He is spent, his will drained, his wits dulled, and his sinews nigh to breaking. Alone he stands, his last embers of light long since swallowed by the abyss, and his throat, parched as a wanderer lost in the desert of night, burns for mercy. Yet even in this void he feels the giant confines about him, the press of the unseen walls, or is it but the ghost of memory, etched upon his mind by countless hours of weary gazing upon their never-ending surfaces? He has beheld these vertical plains more than he has the sun or the wheeling birds, and yet he knows them not. Are they truly walls? What substance and matter make them? No stone nor timber of the waking walls holds their likeness. They gleam, pale as the snows atop mountain Obek, and veined with endless winding and twirling furrows, as though an army of unseen worms, numberless as the stars, have feasted upon the interminable surfaces for an age beyond mortal grasp. As his thoughts drift, his left hand brushes against the floor, a fissure small and sharp, where his pickaxe last struck moments ago. Or was it days? A wedge of rupture within this unknowable matter. His heart hammers in his breast, for from that slender breach issues a breath of warmth, a whisper of air from beyond. A shudder courses through him, not of fear, but of elation. His fingers tighten about the haft of his pickaxe, and with a cry torn from the depths of his soul, he smites the crack with all the strength that lingers in his failing limbs. Blow upon blow his strikes fall, blind and desperate, until the rift yawns wide enough for passage. He looks behind him, though he is well acquainted with solitude in these forsaken depths for a long time now. The last of his brothers gone, like their attention to other things. And then, casting himself forward through the breach, he tumbles from the shroud of night and into radiance, into a brilliance unbound, a light so fierce it should sear his flesh, melt his very eyes within their sockets. Yet it does not. Instead his eyes brim, and tears spill freely down his face, for before him lies a sight no man has ever beheld, nor dreamed of in his boldest fancy. Palom sinks to his knees, weeping, trembling, for he knows with all the certainty of his soul that he stands before the eye of God. That was long. Okay, Palom is very important for the Palomists. I mean, that hence the name. The page has the freaking pickaxe on it. And of course, the pickaxe. I was always talking about that it is a key, but apparently it is just a religious symbol, because the pickaxe is what the first important person, like their great prophet and whatnot, used to discover the eye of God. That's why it's important. It's just a symbol. It's not actually something special. God damn it. I kind of am disappointed by that. But also it talks about the walls. What substance and matter make them. The way that he describes them, they feel like they could be limbic matter? But then how the frick did a normal pickaxe break them? So... oh. The walls strike again! Can we get a pickaxe? No, like, seriously, this is all it is here. We can't get further. Are you... wow. Well, down the cave it is. I don't see any other way, or unless we can get somewhere else on the other side here. There is a door that doesn't open. Well, it's not a door, it's a gate. Probably open that from the inside to get back out. Yeah. Oh, we can actually walk in here. And there is nothing. Wow. There's another gate on the other side. Yeah, we're gonna get in there from, like, downstairs somehow. No. Just checking if we can break through somewhere. But I mean, that hasn't been a thing in this game so far, so yeah. And yeah, here's that part. Okay, down into the cave! This reminds me, there was another part in the city, town, where we also went down into some cave. And there was a wall that I said, like, it feels weird that there's only this wall, and we just look at it. And I was thinking about potential dynamite, but maybe this opens up an entire cave system with that we can also get to that point. A vault of knowledge. Well, we don't have the code, so I'm not even going to try to brute force it. And we're in. Okay, that was much shorter than expected. I mean, great, wonderful. We're already at new, exciting things. Okay. That is how we also get over there, it seems like. So we're not doing that yet. This is how we are not able to... wait, no, this is not the start. Over there is the start. That's why I'm confused. Yeah. Okay. Chambers of Young Lady Harvor. I think we had that name before. Where did we hear that? I think that is the name of the queen? Actually? Okay, how do you get over to that side? I mean, there's probably not really something there. It's probably just another piece of... like, I'm expecting it's just another consumable that I don't really use. But, like, how do you actually get over there? There doesn't seem any way downstairs. That little log there is, like, the way out again. But how do you get in? Do we somehow get up these walls and then just drop down? Maybe from that tower? How do you... no, like, seriously, how do you get in there? Interesting. Again, doesn't seem like it's like a super important matter. Oh, I didn't see that. It's a crest with 3 swords on them. I haven't seen that before. At least not that I remember. Hold on! Into the fray with these two. Whip. Whip. Maybe we can now. You're summoning. Okay. Oh. Haha, we could get over there. I have to see if we have the keys. I'm more interested in figuring out if we can actually open some of the gates. So we don't have to, like, if we want to get back in here. Like, if, for example, if we don't have the keys for that thing. If we want to get back in here, do we always have to, like, go back down through the cave? But it really seems like there is no way. Face in the thing. That's like where the 4 pillars were. That we did last time. So that has something to do with this. The people who made that are the same. What does that mean? What does that really actually tell us? Limbic Armory. Okay. Interesting. We don't have you. Okay. We need one more for terror. We don't have it. We have to come back here at some other time. That's slightly annoying. We also need to find a way. There is something up there. This looks like you can walk up there, but how do you get up there? We want to get over there. Huh. But you can't walk over there like that. God, is this becoming foggier in here right now? No. It feels a little weird. Like, it feels like there has to be a way to go. Somehow. That is just back into this little thing. Very odd. Like, seriously, it's very odd that we can't really go over there. None of these things seem to open. There is no mechanism hidden here that we can use to open the gates. Then again, how would they even really open, for the most part? Like, everything is so destroyed. How would that even work still? Then again, since when have video games cared about that? But like, seriously, this seems like there's an entire part of this, like, missing. Oh, we're out again. Have we looked around into this? Well, it was something at once. It was a tower, I guess. Next floor, vaults of anguish and binding cells for Sabinian prisoners. Well, the usual happy times, I guess. But yeah, this place, how do you get in there? This doesn't have any other place, so how do you get in there? Okay, I have one tiny thought that I want to test. And okay, we have it equipped actually. Can we... No, you can't move forward doing that. And you can't, like, walk on top of this. I feel like I'm trying to glitch my way in now. But partially I am. Like, how do you get in here? How else do we get in here? It seems like there is no way. What? You have to somehow get on top of this wall and then, like, drop down on the other side. But how do we do that? This is an entire, like, part. Back there, again, there was just a little thing. But, like, this is an entire part of stuff that just doesn't give us access. We already know that this doesn't work, because we're hitting the wall. So it's not even like we can aggro the enemy and then they break through to the walls or something. So, like... This is very bizarre right now, because I don't know what else we could really do. Even if we get, like, other parts of the city, like, even if we go back and do, like, the graveyard puzzle. Could this open up another thing that we can get to other parts of this? The vaults have never done that before, but that doesn't mean it couldn't happen. Okay, fine. We have to go back for the vault Oh. You just need to... Well... I should have not spoken so soon. Yeah, and this way we can also drop into that place. Wow. It's super simple if you know, open your eyes for a moment. Which I definitely have proven that I am not doing often enough. That was a bit reckless. Falling off now would be so annoying. And again, no plunging attacks. Which doesn't really matter, it feels like they should be there. We have a Theta Prism. That was also just red. I was like, oh, it's just a consumable, but oh my god, they are also just red. So that, I mean, they are consumables, I guess. We do consume them upon using them, but oh god, that means these are important. Well, since we have a prism, let's check out the time loop. Even though I don't think this is the time loop I'm gonna use it on. We can't open it anyway, the sound hasn't happened yet. Second Lodge of Terror, first stone mortared in 847. We do not slumber, nor do our eyes ever shut, for we know that our wisdom and calamitic warfare, our guiding hand and culture, and the fire of our light shall yet be called upon by the people of our fair and noble province. The fact that you call yourself the Lodge of Terror is just... it's weird. I understand that it has something to do with the limbic spheres. I'm gonna abuse walls against you as much as I want. I do not care. I also don't use these consumables that give you your limbic energy back. So far I haven't really needed them. Armory of the Verdant Dread, Limbic Arms and Safeguards, Sphere of Terror. It's very interesting, because terror is a word that definitely has a specific connotation. We would absolutely say that that is something very, very bad. Yeah, we can't enter. And the limbic sphere of terror, as I at one point, like, I had an idea of, like, that the limbic spheres actually potentially mean something more, that they showcase certain human emotions potentially or something. And terror was the one where I at first didn't know what it was, but then I was like, well, maybe it is literally just being terrified, being fearful, having fear of something. And it is kind of interesting to just see that. Like, there's an entire group of people that are like, we are the Lodge of Terror, like, the second Lodge of Terror even. So there's, like, multiple. And it's kind of interesting to just see that. Like, there's an entire group of people that are like, we are the Lodge of Terror, like, the second Lodge of Terror even. So there's, like, multiple. And it's kind of interesting to just see that. Like, there's an entire group of people that are like, we are the Lodge of Terror, like, the second Lodge of Terror even. So there's, like, multiple. What does that actually mean? Like, are you just using limbic weapons with limbic sphere of terror engraved on them? Like the weapon I'm using right now? Or are you trying to strike terror into the hearts of your enemies? Or has it some completely different meaning? It feels a bit weird to just call yourself something like that. Like, what's the exact point? What are you actually trying to do? What do you stand for when you say that? Did you just name yourself after it because this is the limbic sphere that you're using? Okay, we're under the graveyard. I will probably not figure out what it really means, so let's look. Where is east? East is that direction. To the mountains. Wonderful. That means that is not clockwise. Well, that is clockwise, but that is not what we need. We need you to look that way. Wonderful. 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 Where is the next one? There was one here that we got mostly right. Actually, that is right. You're looking east. Yeah, that is actually correct. You have to turn around completely. That should be fine enough. You have to turn a little bit like that. And then there is one more that also needs to like turn around completely. And I do not know what clockwise or counterclockwise means. Oh. That is honestly not what I expected. I'm just gonna be honest, I did not expect to instantly just have some people jump out at me. People, limbic entities. Actually, that's a question. Has that ever been asked / answered? Has that been asked / answered before? Are the limbic entities originally people, or are they just formed on their own? I honestly don't know. I don't think we actually have something that, like, talks about that. That looked so bad. Oh god. I said something before that I think they are janky as hell sometimes, but like that definitely was like mega jank. Those are skeletons. Oh god, that's a lot of bones. Why do I have the feeling that the weird torture chamber and whatnot that we actually read something about might be closer at hand than I want it to be? Like, honestly, that is a lot of bones. That is so many bones. It could also just be that these are catacombs and there's just people that... You got me. And this could just be people that were buried here. I mean, there is a freaking graveyard on top. It doesn't have to be 2D. Not everything has to be horror. Or horrifying. Some things are just normal. Hello. Did we accidentally? Yes. I think I did that in another part. Oh yeah, it was in Leaf in that one part where I was like, wow, I didn't even do it, but like the game instantly like takes you to the portrait when you click, even though I'm completely looking in a different direction. That kind of felt similar. Tablet fragment. Oblique. A piece of a fractured stone tablet. Patterns are engraved on its surface. Found in the crypts below Marrowstown. So yeah, this is just a crypt. It's just catacombs with the dead. I mean, That is still a lot of bones, and I don't think that is how you crypt, but don't let me tell you how to crypt. I never had to, like, make one or oversee one. It just feels very, very weird. Also, golden bird with the eye. Don't think we ever had bird symbolism. That probably needs a specific key. What is that symbol? Oh, this is the church key? Actually, it works. That doesn't answer the question that I had though. What is that symbol? It's like one kind of tentacle arm with a claw and one circle? What is that supposed to be? Could it be some kind of weird worm? That is an AoE. I have some of those too. Wooden horse figurine. Small wooden figurine of a horse, hand-carved and painted white. That is very different from everything else we found here. We haven't really found wooden carvings yet, have we? I mean, was the mask wooden? The mask was maybe wooden. Bracelet of Grief, Depression. Receiving a fatal blow will instead restore your health. Healing 50%. Okay, half your health. That's not even that little. And it has a cooldown of 540 seconds. Or 9 minutes, if you want it like that. That is... Oh, here's the other side of that other cave. They bade me to strike this wall a full 50 times. Is this the wall where you saw the Eye of God? I mean, there is the eye symbol here. Maybe this was repurposed and it wasn't originally a crypt? But yeah, what I wanted to say, like the revive, I don't know if that is necessarily the greatest. Tablet fragment, square. Small piece of a fractured stone tablet. Yeah. Interesting. What are these for? So far we don't really have something that needs them. Don't... Well... Maybe we do. What about the weird... the big door at the start of Maristan? Where we were at the start. Limbic Rod Terror. Oh, please don't tell me that's the one for the thing. Limbic Chest, Maristan Ruins. Mystery discovered. Oh, goddammit. Well... guess we have to go there. At some point. We're gonna go back there for the Vault of Knowledge anyway. Table fragment angled. Large piece of a fractured stone tablet. It had these symbols on them. It gave us info on the Blood Queen? The eagles opened a secret crypt where I found the pieces of a stone tablet. Yeah, and I think it's for the door. That could be for the door. We have to insert 3 things in front of it to open it. I think that is what this could be. Part of me wants to go there now to figure that out. God, we still have to go to the statue and open into the church. We're closer to the church, so let's do this first to get the key. I don't think that just getting the key will, like, do story progress. Hopefully. I'm a little bit suspicious since last time. Well, it wasn't last time, it was before that. Weren't you free before? Yes, there is the... Oh no. You are going into timeout. Okay, maybe I should have put someone else also in timeout. No. Ranged enemy first. You are the freaking cancer. The rest I do not care about. Well, the time loop is open. Do I want to go there? Don't think so right now. Should probably get the key first before I snoop around the church, but okay, we can read. This hamlet now is ours, once a den of traditionalist decay, it stands reborn, a proud village of the reformist cause. Even this church, once steeped in palomist rigidity, we now have claimed and painted afresh, and here the just words of Sabin are spoken beneath the benevolent gaze of Zephyrus. But let us not be lulled into ease, for we dwell in the heart of the enemy's land. They encircle us, their hatred always festering. Interesting. Like, seriously interesting. That even in ancient times, the Sabinians took over this place. Like, ancient enough that some of these old stone tablets are written by them. Because we mostly found them in, like, the very old ruins, like in Sinatra 4s, and I just expected them, therefore, to be connected to the queen, who is connected to the palomist, so I always thought that all of these ancient inscriptions, they probably have something to do with that. But that one directly tells us no. Not all of them. Well then, we did get rid of the enemies. You have a key for us.
Thanks for taking care of the creatures. Whoever is left in Maristan will have a chance to get some supplies.
Or have a chance to run away and never look back, because I don't think it's safe around here.
Here. Take the key. The gate is southwest of here. Once through the gate, the tunnel that leads inside the head is on your right.
Key, statue. Key that grants access to the Blood Queen statue, obtained from a caretaker, Talus, Artheom. And now we get to do the whole song and dance of what do you think of all the things going on. And looking at your one hand, I think it's pretty clear what you're going to have to say.
Hadia has fallen into the worst kind of chaos there is. I'm a lawyer. Well, I was. For me, it's deplorable to say that the laws as we know them are no more in our country. Do you know what the law is now in Hadia? Guns. Power comes out of the barrel of a gun. I don't know who said that, but it's very accurate. Most Hadians think this war's going nowhere. But they are powerless. How many disagree? Is it 60%? Is it even 80%? I don't know. The majority are confused and frightened, so they go along. They're being led by the 10% who have the guns. Sadly, that's all they need. Maristan was the stage of many events. And unfortunately, I witnessed them all. I hardly know where to begin. The bombing of the market by Palomist extremists. The terror campaign led by Deimos Division to thwart the referendum. The media's constant campaign of dehumanizing the other side. This awful war could have been prevented. The politicians had other ideas, I guess.
And the question still remains, why exactly?
They could have divided Hadia into two states. One Palomist and the other Sabinian. But nobody wanted to back down or listen. When this war ends, and it will, I'd like these politicians to be tried in an international court. That's what these war pigs deserve. They should rot in jail for the rest of their lives, just like the corpses on the battlefield. I met General Romeo in Lublina. I was part of the delegation representing the Sabinian separatist movement of southern Argola. As a foreign observer, The general had been deployed in several countries to oversee referendums and elections. He gave us helpful information and pointers on how to proceed. The general and his peacekeepers were well received in Hadia. I believed they could prevent the war. But when things began to get out of hand, the peacekeepers did nothing to stop what was happening. During the referendum campaigns, Palamist thugs were chopping off hands and arms to prevent Sabinians from voting. The peacekeepers did nothing. They left when we needed them the most. I never understood why. They redeployed to Leith's airport. Nothing was happening in Leith at the time.
Huh.
Look, despite it all, I still believe that General Romeo and his peacekeepers are good people with the right intentions. The man I met in Lublina wasn't a coward. Quite the opposite. The reality is that General Romeo has someone above him. And it's that person who is to blame for this fiasco.
Okay. Conspiracy me back at it again. But that sounds that before things went down, someone wanted to escape from the city. Someone wanted to literally be escorted out. Someone who potentially knew what was going to happen because they are responsible for it. Question would of course still be who.
We came so close to our independence. Polls showed that we were ahead of the Palamist opposition. Their terror campaign worked. I don't blame my fellow Sabinians for avoiding the voting booths. They were afraid. And rightfully so. Even if you have 1,000 sheep versus one wolf, the wolf will always win. I wanted Sabinians to have a new province of their own. I was shattered when we lost. They are the lowest life forms on this planet. Look at their elite soldiers. Their Deimos division was created for one single purpose: to murder, rape, and plunder Sabinian families. They call themselves elite soldiers. There is nothing elite about them. They emptied their prison cells to fill their ranks. They were explicitly recruited to commit the worst atrocities possible. You don't believe me? In 1990, during the Sabinian referendum, units from the Deimos division showed up in our villages with axes and machetes. They indiscriminately began chopping the hands and arms off law-abiding civilians. Their message was clear. No hands, no vote. There you have it. A Palamist in a nutshell.
So they did that before? But they must have done it nowadays as well. We saw that one kid. So are they just like, doing this all the time? Oh, I don't know. I honestly don't want to think about it. This is horrific.
I have no words. All my life, I prided myself on not believing in such nonsense. Look. They walk our streets. There they are, just a few feet away, straight out of the fear-mongering book the Palamists preach. I have to rethink everything. Their existence has shaken the very foundations of my beliefs.
I mean, what else are you supposed to do? Oh. Okay, let us launch you. I mean, if we would suddenly see creatures from myths and other things pop up like that, we all would also probably have to rethink how we see the world. So we can't get into the church itself. And the church key wasn't necessarily used for the church, but for the underground beneath the church. Okay. Wonderful. Now we have only a few things left to do. One of them is using the compass, figuring out where southwest is, towards the statue and open the right kind of thing. Is it up there or is it down here? I think it might be up there, actually. Well. Yeah, there is a gate that we couldn't open. And now we have the key. We still have this mine key from Vissa Hills. Is it just because it was like usable multiple times? That is why we still have it? Or Blood Queen Observatory. That sounds friendly. Or is it because I actually have missed one specific, like, well, one door. Well, we were here before. We went in here. We just couldn't necessarily open everything. He said on the right, didn't he? If I remember correctly. Well, the way in here is on the right, so maybe he meant that. Yeah, this was down towards the soldiers, so no, this is not it. Not this right. I think he just meant that the entrance, when we opened the door that he gave us a key to, that actually is on the right. But we were here already. So is there... I'm guessing we're gonna go after the signs that show us around as to where we're supposed to go. There is a not door. That is not a door. Yeah, I'm honestly somewhat lost. That just brings us also down there. But we don't want to go to the soldiers. We want to go to wherever the hell this leads us. Oh, this is the statue. Oh, now I understand. These are the eyes. This is the statue. This is the... Oh, we're gonna be back at the door. Door. And there is the thing that we have to put in. Well, it probably can only fit in one way. If we do this somewhat intelligently. This has to be up there. This has to be the double side, and this has to be the last piece. It doesn't fit differently. Oh. Oh, okay, they have the symbols that are on this. Okay, what are the symbols? That is the eye, but that's not what we want. On this side, we want pickaxe and circle. Then we have the eye with a triangle in the background. This one is some kind of plant, some kind of tree, maybe it's grain, some kind of harvest, and then we have a horn. Are we Vikings now? Because that definitely looks like more like a horn to drink mead. Then oh yay, we're back to having multiple. Ah! What the frick just... Oh well, we are stuck. We are stuck. Hello. I don't want to be stuck with you. Ow! You hurt! Like, really hurt. That was an interesting experience. Please don't do that again. Now there's the question. Did the game just, like, bug me into them, or did one of them actually have an ability to pull you in? I was not paying enough attention for that to figure out if this is just like this is how the enemy works, or if this was just weird, wacky things happening because of jank. Oop. It is effective. But it still doesn't get everything. But it's so many enemies. Remember what I said about like this weapon? Of like how much it's kind of bad that the attacks only go forward? This is the exact moment where I'm like, yeah, look at all of these enemies. This is so many. This weapon just really isn't made for groups like that. I mean, I guess the only weapon that really could be somewhat made for it is the greatsword. And I guess that's why we have abilities, right? To blow them up with mines and other things, instead of actually having to do stuff. Okay, so we have to do this 4 symbols in the right order. I'm guessing these tell a story. We have to figure out what the story is, in what order things happen. An avid pupil, our future queen learns not only the ways of the Palamist faith, but also the art of war and strategy. Okay, queen learns, queen trains. 2 crossed swords. And those seem to be religious people, those seem to be just normal people. Maybe those are the leaders of noble houses or something. I'm gonna remember 2 crossed swords, because that is a symbol on here. Then we have many holy people. The queen is crowned. Queen Harvor Reveta is destined to become the protector of Parlom and defender of our traditions. Our queen, pious and virtuous, rules over Hadia with grace and wisdom. Okay, so yeah, it is Queen Harvor. I remembered we heard that name before, and there was one part where we also had something about, like, just the mention of Harvor. And Reveta is her name, her noble house. So everything comes into place. That is the queen, and I guess a king being blessed by a priest. Maybe this is marriage? For the love of his queen, King Garland converts to the Palamist faith. Queen Harvor Reveta looks to the east and prepares for war to protect Holy Palom legacy. Okay, not marriage. This is the tower. Utterly victorious over her enemies, our beloved queen enacts plans to purify Hadia from the heretic filth. That's the tower. Okay, so if we take this order, it's crossed swords, crown, the eye, tower. So what do we have here? God, that is not fully visible. But yeah, crossed swords, the crown, that one. Then we have the eye, and then we need the tower. That is not the order. Okay. Again, I was saying, like, maybe we have to figure out what the order is. She definitely gets crowned before this happens. That makes sense. After being victorious, and this is where it was said that she prepares, right? Looks easy and prepares for war. So this is preparation, so this comes after that. She looks younger here, so I expected that to be the thing that should be first. Is that not the right eye? What other symbols do we have? No, that is mostly... There's also nothing directly on the coffin. Oh. They really like to sculpt their faces into rock. Goodness. That is creepy as... Ugh. Do not like it. Not a friend of this. Okay, I'm very sure that the symbols are correct, but the order isn't. What about this could be changed? There's no other direct thing around here that really tells us something. Huh. Oh. Are you? That is not a spiky. I choose the spiky crown. There are two... Oh my god. That is just evil. Sword of the Blood Queen. A well-preserved sword, still gleaming despite its obvious age. The ornate golden hilt features an inlaid jewel found in the sarcophagus of the Blood Queen in Maristan. I have an idea where we have to put that. That is for the tower in Sinedra Forest. Mark my words and see me be wrong about that somehow. Queen's Eulogy, a remarkably well-preserved parchment scroll. Here rests Harvor Revetta, the unyielding divinity, keeper of purity, archon of vengeance, and protector of the righteous. Let her wisdom echo through eternity. Long may her manifold deeds inspire us to greatness. None greater than the Arca's spire, the pinnacle of righteousness and pride of our nation. Amidst the wildwood of Sinedra, the grand tower looms. Only our beloved queen could envision so profound an undertaking. Only our beloved queen could shepherd its foundation, and only our beloved queen could realize its full potential. The spire shall remain forever open to our Lady Revetta and her instrument of vengeance here instead. Welp. That directly... Okay, it literally tells us like, hey, go there. Okay, that means we're kinda done in this place, except we have potentially a time loop. I'm not sure if I want to do this one or if I do one... If I want to do another first. I think we're gonna go some other place first. I also think we're gonna check out Selgen first before we go back to the forest, because I don't want to miss more side stuff. And I am partially afraid that once we get a keystone, the game just shifts into the next act. So yeah, the door is open. The only thing we have is again the vault, and I'm just gonna be honest. Maybe we can go back there right away, because maybe Tanya will just give us something about it.
When you have a second, I have more information on the Arca Spire.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about other stuff, but sure, we can do that.
Let me know if you want more information.
What did you find on the Arca Spire?
I ran the Arca Spire into the database. There is no mention of why the tower was built. However, I did come across something else.
I mean, we already know from the inscriptions, right? This is... Well, okay, wait. The tower is where they led the heretics and judged them, so to speak. That doesn't mean that that is its intended original purpose. That may not be what it was built for. So, potentially, okay, fine.
Epsilon, an OMSIF division, had several objectives in southern Umbrahan. One of them was to find a way into the Arca Spire.
Is that the unit we found at the start of the game?
They were ordered to investigate some ruins in Sinedra Forest, near the Arca Spire. Their unit, Epsilon 11, was never heard from again. Now I know where you got the APC.
Well, we didn't kill those people.
They believed the underground ruins would lead into the Arca Spire. They were wrong. Let's go to Sinedra Forest and find out where the actual entrance to the tower is located.
Well, we already know. But that's also... very interesting. They wanted to get in to the tower. They potentially know what it is. Now I'm very interested if it actually is not just there to be like a potential like torture and execution chamber, because that is what it sounded like from all the things we read. Maybe it has some other purpose. But
Let me know if you need more.
first we have... Oh my god, we have so much backlog here. Well, let us read.
Good find. I'll look it up.
Sabin's thesis. This manuscript appears to be the original thesis written by Sabin Gao sometime in the early 5th century, the very same thesis that led to the Great Schism in Sephirism. Schism, that's how you pronounce that. Sabin's thesis offered a more liberal interpretation of the Palamist Creed. It spread rapidly, its ideas quickly embraced and adopted by many. It would set the stage for centuries of hostilities between Palamists and Sabinians that still rage to this day. It is quite chilling to hold the very manuscript that is the cause of so much suffering over nearly 2 millennia. To think that the original parchment had survived all these years is truly astounding. Honestly, yeah. But also it's something that we kind of... like, we had a lot about that already. Like, it was mentioned a lot of times when the religion was split. It's not really something new, it's not really that much info, it's just like, hey, we have the original thing and should probably put that in a museum.
Nice find. Let's run it through the database.
Jehanian referendum below. This unmarked below is from the Jehanian referendum in September 1990. In the wake of the Marastan market bombing and after years of propaganda campaigns extolling Sabinian nationalism, discontentment was an all-time high in the province of Jehania. Jehanian authorities reached out to the organized nations to observe... yes, but that's not the word that stands there. To oversee a referendum on Jehanian sovereignty. The vote turned out overwhelmingly in favor of statehood. Jehania officially declared its independence shortly after the vote. Orgola would invade Jehania just a few months later as civil war erupted across all of Hadia. Jehania would once again be swept up in Hadian affairs before it had a chance to truly separate.
Nice. I'll have a look in the database.
Bowl of spent limbic slivers. Oh. It's not ash. In 717 AD, Calvin Modus, the hammer man on the forge, a well-respected member of the Order of the Eye, was tasked with creating a weapon that could be used against the limbic entities. He gathered the most prominent blacksmiths of the time and founded the Anvils of Modus. All they had to work with was a recovered limbic shard from a captured entity. For years they toiled day and night, struggling to find a method of harnessing the limbic shard. Eventually it was Modus himself who discovered a technique for molding the material into a usable state. These slivers, devoid of all latent energy, are what remains of the countless failed attempts. So that's how the first limbic weapon was made. So I guess these limbic entities, they just have like some residual things they leave behind and they use that. They like literally use scraps of them. I don't know, like for example that we humans, we lose some of our skin particles. Like dust is made out of a big chunk out of human skin, if you know about that. Maybe it's like the same with these things. And they just collected that and just tried to forge something out of that. That's kind of... On one hand, that's kind of cool. On the other, it's like... I mean, I guess they were very desperate. So yeah, this seems like an absolute, like, ridiculous endeavor. But I guess out of desperation, you're willing to do that. I mean, if you have an invincible enemy that you don't understand, then I guess stuff like this is what you have to do.
Let's see what the Zeal server has to say about this one.
Idol of the Protomartyr. This bronze figurine dates back to 708 AD. It is cast in the likeness of Realm Strago, a scholar of the Order of the Eye who voluntarily gave his life to stop the calamity. A new type of threat had emerged when the first limbic invasion began. The Order was desperate to deal with the time loop anomalies appearing across the country. The development of the amine prison was the stroke of luck they needed. They theorized that placing the device at the center of the time loop would create a destabilizing effect. Only one problem remained. Any organic matter entering the time loop would begin to deteriorate the deeper it penetrated. It was obvious that reaching the center of a time loop would be fatal. It was Realm Strago who volunteered to bring an amine prison to the center. With his sacrifice, he proved all the theories correct. The Order now knew how to collapse the time loops. His bravery would inspire his peers for generations. His selfless act of sacrifice quickly became legend within the Order. Many would follow in his footsteps, eager to make a difference and to stand beside Strago with honor. These brave men and women became known as the Proto-Martyrs. I mean, if you have no other way, then I guess, again, against an enemy that is invincible, you have to do certain things. Even though it's kind of frick to have to sacrifice people.
Interesting. I'll look it up.
Phineas Bizima's speech. This is a copy of the speech given by Phineas Bizima in Evil in March 1990. Bizima, a firebrand politician from Umbrahan, addressed the Palamist masses gathered for the holy pilgrimage to the Grand Temple of Palam in the Iligat Valley. The speech contained extensive anti-Sabinian rhetoric as well as a radical call to return the Iligat Valley to Palamist hands. The crowd became incensed and flooded into the streets of the city, looting and burning Sabinian stores and homes. The crackdown from the local Sabinian police forces was swift and brutal. The riot was dispersed by nightfall, but hundreds lay dead in the streets. We heard about that weird one, the weird riot, and I was like, how the hell did that happen? Well, apparently we have an answer. There was one politician who just, well, I guess literally stirred up the masses to go and do violence. Yeah.
Nice. I'll have a look in the database.
Harvo Raveda's storybook. An inscription along the spine identifies this book as belonging to Harvo Raveda, a gift from her uncle and guardian Thomas Raveda. That's the Thomas! Where I was like, who the hell is Thomas? Well, now we know who's on that graveyard. In her childhood, Harvo would spend much time at her uncle's manor in present-day Marastan. The book contains several short stories, allegories, and caricaturized illustrations aimed at young children. Throughout, the pages contain a scornful tone of derision towards Sabinian people, often mocking or demonizing them as sinful evildoers or even drawing comparisons to insects. A prime example of the indoctrination to which Harvo was exposed from a young age that would ultimately shape her ideology as queen. Makes sense. If you grow up with something like this, then you probably... I mean, yeah, she is literally now a symbol against them. Just a good showcase of what, like, well, yeah, indoctrination and stuff like that can do to children, and how that shapes them as people, and how that affects them in the future.
Nice find. Let's run it through the database.
Operation Appleseed Candidate File. This file contains sensitive information on Operation Appleseed, the codename given to the now infamous Marastan market bombing. The file includes a complete psychological analysis of the candidate chosen to carry out the bombing, Byron Velba. It details the recruitment and subsequent psychological manipulation of the civilian who was specifically targeted due to his participation in the Evel riots of March 1990. The file proves conclusively that the bombing was not the random act of a Palamist extremist, but a black op devised and orchestrated by the Estes division of the Axiom. It was carefully planned and executed to heighten ethnic tensions. And it is in the category the conspiracy, because of course...
There is a vault of forbidden knowledge in Lake Sinan.
Search the water's edge. What do you mean, like, Sinon? We were there. There is no... Search the water's edge. You mean the big water? Oh, I have to go back. But that also gives me one tiny, tiny, tiny thing to worry about. I hoped that we could, like, get, you know, the thing for here, but that's not what we get. We get one in Sinon Lake. I guess we get them after in like a specific order, and not depending on the ones we actually found. Well, I'm gonna check that out, but like, can we get another one, and it might be this one here, please?
Let's see what the Zeal server has to say about this one.
Vase of the 8th tribe. This clay vase dates from approximately 2000 BC. The primitive painting depicts the two-headed serpent TR coiling its mighty body around the tribe of early Hassalins, presumably for protection. Records pertaining to this tribe are scarce. This vase suggests that they worship TR in stark contrast to other tribes of the time who worship Sephiroth. It appears that the tribe in question was shunned and forsaken by the others, eventually settling in the area known as Vissa Hills today. Perhaps it was they who erected the fabled serpent mound of Vissa we know today. Interesting. And we found like an entire cult that worships TR, so maybe people found these ancient people, like their remains, the buildings, maybe the serpent mound, and went after them and like it took after them and all just took their religion for themselves. Or maybe these are actually like descendants of these people.
Nice find. Let's run it through the database.
Vanderlyn cufflinks. These gold cufflinks bear the bull heraldry of the Vanderlyn family's financial empire. The Vanderlyn family played a pivotal role in the advent of modern centralized banking in the late 19th century. It wasn't long before they accrued political favors from the world's most influential nations. They were even rumored to be involved in the laundering of Nazi gold during World War II. Another hint at that this place in our actual real world, just in a country that doesn't actually exist. Today, their banks operate in virtually every country in the world. It is estimated that over half the world's wealth flows through their coffers yearly. The privately held corporation has the power to move nations, playing kingmaker or funding entire wars. It is of no surprise that Vanderlyn is the only foreign entity operating within Hadia. Garion Yankel personally approved the incorporation shortly after coming to power in the early 50s. Deep pockets can easily bypass miles of concrete walls and barbed wire, it would seem. And it is in the category the conspiracy. Because of course it is. Still, who is actually responsible? That's still like the big interesting question, isn't it? Like, not just who is responsible, but also what do they have to gain from this? Why would they stir up a war in this country that then leads to all of these limbic entities appearing? Like, what is the goal? What is the actual, like, end point? What do they want?
Interesting. I'll look it up.
Amine Inversion Cast. To correct the disastrous outcome of their ill-fated Eminous Shroud experiment, scholars of the Order of the Ice scrambled to find a way to cancel out the Ice's expanded field of influence. The Eminous Shroud is the big weird machine that we saw that they wanted to build. Although the inner mechanics of limbic architecture were beyond the scholars' comprehension at this time, they still made remarkable strides in their research. Purely through keen intuition, they understood that limbic frequencies could be inverted to disrupt limbic fields. They eventually stumbled upon a particular arrangement of limbic material that showed great results on a small scale. They called the construct the Amine Inversion Cast. They erected massive rectangular pillars at various distances surrounding Mount Obek. These flutes of restitution would hold the cast at specific angles to dampen the eye's field. It didn't work. Despite its failure, the amine inversion project was not discarded. The devices were soon repurposed and became the progenitors of the amine prism. The gigantic pillars can still be seen throughout the countryside, ominous reminders of the failings of the past. We saw them, mostly in Akasa marshes. They had inscriptions that titled them as flutes of restitution. So now we know what these are. So they were like, I guess, like putting up a barrier field to contain potential time loops and other things. But they also say it dampened the ice field. So is the Eye of God something that actually causes the limbic entities and like the limbic energy, limbic fields and all that? Is that the source of it?
Interesting find. Let's see what the server can tell us about it.
Pamphlet of Banned Celebrations. This pamphlet was produced by the state in 1980 to inform the public at large about the ban of the beloved traditions of Carnival and Week of Peace. These events had been part of Haitian culture for over 1,000 years. Suddenly and without warning, President Garion Yankel would outlaw all forms of the dual celebration. The justification of the ban was given as a bid to unite the country. The celebrations were blamed for increasing ethnic tensions. The people were understandably upset, but after decades of state oppression, no one dared protest. But like literally, like, people were understandably upset. Yeah, of course. Why would you take away something that they like, that is important to their culture? That just makes them unhappy. It's literally stuff like that. It's just like, I mean, we know that someone is causing all of this and that the politician seems to really be working to make the war happen. But again, the question remains why? What do you want?
Let's see what the Zeal server has to say about this one.
Zurich Summit Photograph. This is a photograph from the 1962 summit in Zurich, Switzerland. The meeting drew much criticism as many in the international community were quick to point out the inclusion of corporate leaders at a political summit. It did little to assuage the rumors and conspiracy theories already swirling around the Wendelin and Dagan families. Pictured from left to right are Konrad Adenauer, Chancellor of the Federal Republic of Germany, Frank Wendelin, President of Wendelin Trust, Anna Wendelin, UFAND ON Secretary General, John F. Kennedy, President of the United States, Charles Dagan, CEO of Dagan Industries. More direct things into our real world.
Interesting. I'll look it up.
Pottery fragment, Eye of God. I think I said that that could potentially be what this is, because they found it on what was it, Mount Obek? And there's a mountain in the background. This fragment of pottery is one of the earliest surviving artifacts from Hasselan society, dating from approximately 7000 BC. The crude pictogram depicts what could only be the majestic peaks of Mount Obek, overlooking a serpentine passage toward a sphere flanked by a throng of worshippers. Does this image reinforce the supposition that early Hesselians discovered the Eye of God beneath Mount Obek, or is it a metaphor for the long and arduous journey towards enlightenment? One thing is clear, this fragment is proof of the shift to a monotheistic belief system that would change Hasselan society in Hadia forever.
Interesting find. Let's see what the server can tell us about it.
Seleni Prison Manifest. This is a page from the prisoner manifest of the Seleni prison located in northwestern Argola. Seleni was the purpose-built PTACC prison for tribal and cultural crimes against the state. Throughout the 1960s, President Garion Yankel's crackdown on free speech continued unabated. After the systematic dismantling of the country's criminal justice system, citizens could be indicted of hearsay alone Okay, again. After the systematic dismantling of the country's criminal justice system, citizens could be indicted on hearsay alone, foregoing burden of proof. Combined with a broad and loose interpretation of the remaining criminal law code, virtually anyone could be found guilty of any crime at any time. Makeshift prison camps were erected across the country to handle the expected influx of prisoners. The first wave of arrests was made as a show of force. Many of the crimes were exaggerated or flat out fabricated. Reports of what transpired within the camps were intentionally leaked by authorities. They relied on the mere specter of the camps to act as a strong deterrent for unwanted behavior. So pretty much trying to rule by fear.
Let's see what the Zeal server has to say about this one.
Token of Truce. Early in the 8th century, after 300 years of violent religious war, the forces of the Palamist traditionalists and the Sabinian reformers tentatively set aside their differences to focus on a rising danger that threatened them both. The white horse became a symbol of that truce. It represented hope, a light in the darkness, courage to face the evil ahead. These small wooden figurines were carried by soldiers on a battlefield to signal to their former enemies that they intended to uphold the truce. A rising danger is probably the calamity. The first limbic invasion or what it was.
Jelgin has a vault of forbidden knowledge.
God damn it. God damn it. Well, we know where we're going next. I mean, literally, we're going next to Jelgin. It's the only thing that's still, we haven't done yet. But still, I did things in the perfectly wrong order. I think I said something about it, that a lot of the things I do in here should be planned better, and it would be so much easier, and now I'm like, well, would you look at that? It literally is. Just...
Interesting. I'll look it up.
Carnival mast. This is one of the original wooden masts used at the inaugural Carnival celebration of 970 AD. The Carnival, as well as the adjoined Week of Peace, were instated to celebrate the enduring peace and prosperity of the kingdom after the calamity nearly destroyed it. The grand celebration would occur every 33 years. In the following centuries, the original meaning would be forgotten even as the tradition became deeply ingrained in cultural heritage. Original masts like this have become highly prized artifacts of Hadean tradition, especially after the celebrations were outlawed by Gary and Yankel in the early 80s. Okay, so people knew about the calamity, but then it became forgotten. How? If your entire history is just Group 1 and Group 2, the Palamists and the Sabinians, are fighting each other. They have conflict all the time. They only say bad things about each other. Then there is suddenly a moment in history that's and this is where we've joined forces against a common enemy. How do you forget that? Isn't that one of the most interesting things? Is that one of the reasons why Yankel outlawed it? Did he... Maybe he is part of the conspiracy and he tried to hide certain things away from the public? Maybe I'm reading too much into that, but still, I find that interesting. There's something weird about that it just became forgotten. I expected it to be more like a secret war, but apparently it wasn't. So the people knew, and it just somehow left the public eye.
Good find. I'll look it up.
Urunwe's journal. Hopefully I don't have to. I have to. This journal belonged to Urunwe Mateos, a member of the Foal Guard. It was discovered in 1972 when the Vigil managed to open a vault of forbidden knowledge for the first time. The journal outlines an expedition into the Jumal Caves in 1502 AD, led by General Cyrene, Warden of Grief. It contains a trove of information about the activities and organization of the Full Guard of old. More importantly, it confirmed the existence of a sacred artifact hidden deep within the Umal caves. It was exactly the lead the Vigil needed to revitalize their languishing search. Okay, we know about this. Wait. This was the Full Guard. This is not the Vigil that found the artifact in Umal Caves and then Or was it? Didn't they find it later? Huh. Well... we have Lake Sinan. I have no entire idea where exactly we need to look, so this is going to be very fun. Somewhere at the water. I'm going to assume that it is not the water in the reservoir, but it is actually like the water. Like, look at all of the water. Haven't I been at the... No, I've been just like... I've been down at the boathouse, but like down here, right next to this actually somewhat more higher up thing, I did not go there. So there is a high chance that it is just around the corner here, and I just haven't seen it. There is even a freaking... I need to open my eyes sometimes. Every playthrough is blind, for our eyes are yet to open. Not just the Bloodborne thing, but apparently also for everything else. Oh, and tourists were here. I guess this is a cool thing to look at if you're a tourist, to just be like, ooh, look at this door that no one can open. But you can brute force it. How the hell are these never opened? You can brute force them if you want to, you just need enough time. Or write it down once you figured it out, which is what I did. Because I mean, we could just look it up and then I still have to remember it, so I'm like, let's just do the easy thing. That is not the order. Ecstasy is the last one. I made an oopsie, bippity-boo. And then we need ecstasy as the final piece. And I could have done the other way around, that would have been faster. This is it. This is literally what... Game? Are you trolling me? Lake Sinan. It's grief, not terror. Why did I write down terror? I know what these symbols mean. Why did I do that? Why am I like this? Ah. Parchment, a dire cost. An ancient parchment reacting the killing of an foul creature. It took General Kale and General Armon 8 days of ceaseless battle with more than 2,000 men, most of whom have died in the fighting and now lost to the abyss, to bring low but one of the hideous fiends. Only one. How many such a thing be? Wait, what? How many such a thing be? I guess that's old language, but like, with graphic with the understanding of grammar of nowadays languages, that sentence is a freaking nightmare. How may we stand against such horrors when two of our finest commanders now swear never to face them again? This is no mere defeat, it is calamitous, and yet perhaps all is not lost. I have sent forth our spies to reclaim the carcass. It lies hidden within a traditionalist keep on the outskirts of Metaron. Fortune favors us as we need not travel far. Perhaps within the corpse of this fell beast we may glean some knowledge. Drak. They managed to kill one. That is interesting. How did you do that without, like... So... when we shot it the first time we saw one, the thing didn't really react, and we expected, like, okay, it doesn't do anything, but maybe it does? It's just so minuscule that it, like, looks like it doesn't, but they said they battled it for 8 days. if you like actually have like thousands of people like use weapons, even if they're like not weapons like guns, but if like swords, and if you hit something for 8 days straight with so many people involved, maybe that is still enough to actually degrade them. Maybe they can like be killed by normal weapons. It just takes such ridiculous efforts that it is just unfeasible to ever do that. Painting. Sign Namir Adam. A faded painting depicting Sign Namir Adam, Mantle of Sorrow, 5th tier. Found in a vault of forbidden knowledge. He has the grief symbol of him. Grief symbol on him, on his chest. So maybe he also wears a limbic weapon of grief. And his armor looks like it could be made out of like... The way it works, it could be made out of limbic material. Amine Prison! We can make another time loop happen. Okay, cool. Memoria of the Foal. An active relic. Echoes of War. Your weapons resonate with the frequencies of past battles, increasing the experience gained. For 600 seconds. Plus 100% XP. I mean, I never use the one that I have. But that's more because I forget about, because we have all the active abilities on the weapon, we have all of our abilities on the drone, it's just a bit much, and therefore I forget that we also have a relic. But I'm not sure if even if I now force myself to use that, if that is that great. Speaking of experience, I think the axes can still get some levels. Yes, they can. Maybe I use them for now. Tome. The Ascendance of Hellion Lodges and the Birth of the Limbic Aesthetics, Part 1. In the grim dawn of the second Limbic invasion, veterans of the first calamity rose once more. They forged anew and untested into warriors, imparting their knowledge acquired during the first Limbic tide. Both traditionalists and reformers set aside their schisms, for in the face of annihilation no blade could stand alone. As the new Sibylline invasion raged for 3 merciless years, a pattern emerged. Some soldiers grew adept at slaying particular breeds of the Limbic Scourge. Seizing upon this truth, the traditionalists birthed the Hellion Vanguards. War bands tempered for the ruin of specific limbic demons. Their discipline, understanding, and maneuvering was honed to a deadly edge. So efficient were their strikes that even the reformists, once disdainful, bent to wisdom and forged their own Hellion formations. Thus, from the crucible of an inconceivable war, a doctrine was born. Not from scholars' quills nor kings' decrees, nor from the practice cages of Carol's grounds, but from first-hand experience and the blood, steel, and unyielding will of those who refuse to fall. So this is how like the Warden of Grief and all that came to be. That's what they're crowned for, to be like, hey, you're good against these people, you're like, okay, interesting. New glyph, Limbic Slivers Elite. Limbic energy crystallized into multiple shards projected towards the target. We had that before, yep. I thought it was... Oh, that was rank 3. Okay, we had rank 1, maybe rank 2. Tuning Stone. That's it. Glyph, Perfect Guard. Also now rank 3. Okay, we're getting rank 3s from this now. That reminds me, we have to pick up our rewards. Oh god. I guess this is the episode of like doing the stuff that I forgot to do. We have now new things for Tanya to read, yay. And then we're gonna go back to Vissa Hills to get our rewards for all the things we've done, because I have not collected them for multiple recording sessions now. Like, oh god, there's a lot. And I've said multiple times now, oh, did we miss this? Did we miss that? Maybe the reason why I missed it is because I literally didn't pick it up. That's not that far-fetched of an idea. That seems pretty likely, honestly. Hey, Tanya, we have more.
Do you have anything for me?
No. What do you mean, no? We just picked up prisms, yes, but we also just got... Well, it's not in here. These are the research things. But we just picked up, like, this painting. This is not research? Oh. Okay. I guess it isn't. Well, back to claiming rewards. I was like so sure that it was. And also we now know about this place. That there's like an ancient group of people that already worship the serpent. And then we have the Vigil now finding this place, making it their base. Directly next to them. That's also kind of interesting. We also still need like one of these crests for one of the there's a graveyard in Arcasa Marshes. There is so much in Arcasa Marshes to come back to. That is like literally the biggest point where the game just revolves around and you just come back again and again and again. Everything else you go there like once or twice, but that big place like is eternal.
Remember...
I just realized we have time loops to close. Why did I go here first? I said it before, I should plan this stuff. And I
What's our
don't.
status on time loops?
Good. You closed a few of them.
Waves of Greaves enhanced. We had that before. Wave of Wrath enhanced. Is that the normal one that I used all the time? No, that was the one that like shoots the weird spikes out of the ground. Okay. Omen of Oblivion. Passive Relic. Final Flourish. A sense of finality seizes you, increasing the damage and power of combo capper attacks. Combo capper? Like the final blow of a combo?
Have I helped enough, Hades?
Hadians are lucky to have a...
Signet Ring of Rage. Red Tide. Striking an enemy will reduce the cost of limbic skills. Ooh. 8% cost reduction for 6 seconds. Now is this stackable or is this just once? Because if this is just once, then I'm like, eh. But if it's stackable, oh. Amine Prism. Okay, we can do multiple time loops. Amine Prism Row. We still haven't found a time loop that needs the big one. The Relentless Assault. Passive Relic. War Master's Essence. Focus on your martial form, restoring health for each landed combo capper. Okay. Glyph Fury. Oh, a new one. So Rage. Look, it is a Rage Glyph. Hateful forces strike a limbic entity and rage just through its umbilical cord, searing all entities connected to it. It is a charge one. Damage to linked entities increases. The way this is worded, does it not, like, damage the main target, only the ones connected to it? Maybe, maybe not. We have to test that. Glyph Interrupt Enhanced. We had that before. Idol of Grief, Anger, Defensive Gear. Strikes against you will increase the damage of your next attack. Plus 50%. I mean, it's only for 6 seconds, but whoa. Oops. What do you mean disconnected? My controller is... I didn't do anything. I just pressed... Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Glyph Fury Elite. Okay, we can test out the... Oh my god, the damage goes up. Glyph Chromatic Shield enhanced. I didn't really use that one. Knell of Fading Terror, the insta-kill that we already had for Grief once. Now we have it for Terror. Again, I don't really like this idea. It's like an insta-kill for one enemy, and it takes 9 minutes cooldown, and it's like, it's one enemy. Is that worth it? Signet Ring of Ecstasy, Stimulation, more defensive gear. While grievously wounded, all sources of healing are more effective. And it is again a big bonus of 50%. Glyph Berserk, we already had that. But I think that was only for 20 seconds or 30 seconds, but now it's for 40. Okay. We have time loops to do. The question is which one? Which one do we do? Also just... I want to look. Actually. Does it give us... Okay, no. We already know exactly what the experience bonus is and stuff. But the passive ones... It doesn't tell you. Endurance restoration equal to damage. Does that mean literally like how much damage you deal? That could be kinda good. Combo kappa damage plus 100. I'm going to just say that these are actually like the final hit in a combo, which isn't bad. Like, just look at the polearm that I'm using. The 4th hit deals 680 damage. Like, doubling that or restoring that much health isn't bad. But what I want really is equip my sword again. I do not use this one at all. But we can use this... Well, we have rank 1 and we have rank 3. We definitely missed stuff. But we also definitely messed up some quest lines, so... Makes sense. No, the one I'm using all the time is Rage Spike. We don't have that yet in a more stronger version. Okay. We're gonna test some of that on our way to the time loops. Okay, we have a time loop in Sinan Lake in the Forge that we can definitely close. We have one in Marostan that we can now potentially, and in Talju. I think we have enough for all of them. We're gonna go here first, and then we're just gonna work through them.
To another peaceful year! Hail!
That's still loud. Since we already seen that, I wanted to just test, like, can you skip that? Yes, you can. And I just hope that that kind of potentially solves the noise problem, but I have to see in the recording later. That still seemed pretty problematic. A bronze cup. A tarnished bronze cup bearing a sword and flower emblem. The Foal Guard. Well, more for Tanya. Well then...
Have you found some... Let's see what the Zeal server has to say about this one.
Pentos Poisoned Cup. This cup belonged to Pentos Argea, Warden of Grief and the Full Guard. Due to their belief that the limbic threat was largely contained, the Order of the Eye decided to disband the Full Guard in 1513 AD. This disbandment occurred in the form of a mass poisoning of its members at a grand feast hosted by the Order. Pentos had been harboring a growing distrust of the Order for some time. It was his last-minute trepidation that kept him from the feast. Having narrowly escaped betrayal at the hands of the Order, Pentos understood that the Full Guard's purpose was now more crucial than ever. He would go on to found the Vigil, an organization dedicated to carrying on the Full Guard's mission, away from the prying eyes of the Order. Traces of the poison used by the Order are still detectable inside the cup.
You can now read the article I wrote on the Vigil.
Ooh! How long is that? Well, I mean, this is the episode where we do all this stuff, so let's do this. The Vigil, Unsung Guardians, Manuscript Draft by Tanya Alver, January 1993. The ancient guardians of Hadia, forgotten by history, fight to prevent the next calamity. Nobody's gonna believe you that. The Order of the Eye had spent centuries dismantling theocratic rule, forging oligarchies, toppling monarchs, and manipulating faiths, all in an attempt to control the cycle of war. Yet after 5 devastating calamities and endless bloodshed, the scholars faced an undeniable truth: their methods had failed. From the ruins of the 5th calamity, they devised a new approach. Instead of political maneuvering and covert operation, they would shape Hadia's future through culture. By elevating the Carnival and the Week of Peace to sacred traditions, they ensured that every activation of the Eye of God coincided with enforced peace and festivity. In this way, they would control the people with minimal effort, letting Hadians police themselves through custom and ritual. I am now realizing that this is spoilery. Every activation of the Eye of God. We don't know that. We have nothing about it. I was theorizing about that. I am not going to read this. I'm going to read this at the end. This feels like a full-on spoiler. We're gonna read these at the end, if I remember. Well, I will read them, absolutely. I just... depending if I remember to put it in the video or something. But like, at the end of the playthrough. That is... No, I do not want to spoil myself. I want to figure things out myself, and that literally just told me now, well, my theory is somewhat correct. And now I also know that the Eye of the Order is absolutely to not be trusted. Great. Actually, we also have a time loop in our Casa Marshes. Oh my god, we have so many things to go. Well... Was this always here? I need to look closer. What? Game? Okay, we can bully you across so we can get you to the water. Maybe this? No. If I can get you in the water, then this is a great test. If I cannot get you in the water, then I'm just gonna leave you alone, because you have somehow failed to summon the haze, which means I can't kill you, but you also seem to be not wishing to kill me. No. You cannot bully enemies into water. What the hell is up with this? It's especially this, like, Hollow Walker type that has been stuck on many occasions now. And now I find one that somehow fails to summon the haze, and therefore I cannot kill it. But it also is just refusing to fight me. But the battle music plays. Oh, now you're apparently going back. Or not. Music has returned. The game has now accepted that you are not... Can I now fight you? I just want to know, is this a bug that persists? The game doesn't even have music. I mean, it has, but no battle music. I say janky sometimes, but like, that is next level jank, and I think that goes into... Wait, no. We are in combat. We lose stamina when we run. Phone again. There was someone on the phone again. But this time actually someone was there to talk to. Okay, what the hell though? Yeah, like I lose stamina, so I am in combat. Different weapon, different effect? No, you just go back to your place. Okay. Okay. We can get limbic energy from you. That's very good, because we have this ability. There, you lose some of your wonderful, wonderful stability, and then... Now you're stunned. You're stunned, I can hit you to get my energy back, and now... You're still broken. Okay, you are just broken. There is no saving you. You are gone beyond anything. I have to test this because I want to know, and mostly because I want to make sure that in the future, if anything goes wrong, this isn't going to like soft lock the game. Are you an enemy now? And yes, I see, we're now not in combat, so now we don't lose stamina when we ran. Are you now? You're actually summoning it. Yes, because I wanted to test this cool charge ability that does damage to everything that's linked to. So it... Ow. Okay. No, let me test it on the limbic entity. Okay, it did reduce your limbic energy, which means you did take damage, so to speak. Cool ability. Absolutely freaking annoying, atrocious bug. Please fix. Dooby-doo. Here we are.
TR! Look upon us! As your will be done!
And again, we already did it, so we can skip. Okay, that might be worse if I skip. That just jumped at me. Golden Clover. A gold-painted ceramic icon on the shape of a four-leaf clover found in the underground towns of Patham Abbey. Protector mystery discovered. Do we need that for something? Remember, do we need that to put it in somewhere? Terracotta oil lamp. An ancient primitive oil lamp handmade with terracotta. Simple artwork adorns the sides. It's a labyrinth. An eye at the top, a sun at the bottom. Oh, it's the mountain. The sun at the bottom is atop the mountain, and inside the mountain is the labyrinth. So that is... the mountain is Mount Obek, probably. That has probably something to do with the Eye of God and where it was found. Okay, I want to look up that mystery. Protector. The Protector. It's in Akasa Marshes. Have we seen that place? Where is that? Can we, like, figure out what it is? We still have so much to do. We have an chest in Vitalis' basement. And we now... Oh my god, I found the limbic key in the... If this opens, I'm gonna be mad. We also have enlightenment. We still need one symbol. I'm guessing that potentially it's in the weird military camp that we can't open yet. Because that's like the one place that we still really haven't gone to. But what is this? Okay, let's go to Vitalis. Doo-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo. Yes, we have it. And maybe one of them actually was the one... Yeah, one of them has to be the one we just picked up because we only have 2. Limbic Mending. Neutral glyph. You are bathed in limbic energy, healing you in the process. 1,000 a second? I mean, even with the extra health we have right now, we have like 7,000 HP, so that's actually a lot. And that's rank 1, like that's not bad. But we have other means of healing.
Find something interesting? Nice. I'll have a look in the database.
Light of Sephiroth. Terracotta oil lamps like this played an important part in the religious rites of early Sephirism. Hassel use would be given this lamp along with a supply of food and water, and were expected to navigate the labyrinthine passages beneath Mount Obek alone. A sort of pilgrimage or rite of passage that retraced the steps of their holy Saint Palom. If the youth found their way to the Eye of God, they were considered to be under the guiding gaze of Sephiroth and could rejoin society as a consecrated acolyte. And if they don't find their way, they just, die, probably of thirst and hunger. That's great. The lamp not only provided illumination, but was also considered to hold a piece of the Golden Star Sirius, Sephiroth's final resting place, to ward against the evils of TR, the Serpent God.
I'm done writing my piece on the Hasselins, the ancient Hadeans.
Yay, I pronounced them correctly. Just to make sure that I don't spoil myself, I will not read this right now. Again, later. We have more time loops. We found this one first, so let's do this one first. Doo-be-doo, Okay. Well, it is the terrible thing that you probably expect from a place like this. But it also is so much louder like this. I may actually skip these better because it's just... I definitely have to edit the sound louder. I looked at my recording software doing that, and it is like 3 times as loud, and it's more than peaking. Like, holy, it's not great. Also, this is the first time loop that doesn't even give us a little one thing. Was this supposed to be a grave and they couldn't finish it? I mean, it looks like it. They tried to dig a hole. Well, I think that's all the prisms, and we don't have the big ones yet. So the time loop in Marastan can't be closed yet. Now that brings up the question, where do we go next? Again, this feels like it leads somewhere, but potentially... And it definitely will get us on the journey for the Keystone of Rage. This is for the Keystone of Ecstasy. And then they're now kind of supposed to go back here for the Keystone of Terror. Again, I kind of don't want to do this, but I'm also not sure if doing an entire new area now is that great. This one is close by to just go there. And I kind of really want to do this. Even though I said I don't want to, I kind of want to. Also, we have everything we need for this one. It's another armory. Why are there always armories behind these? Glyph, Rage Spike. Well, I'm using that all the time, so that's great. Rank 2. Sword of Ecstasy. Okay, that looks freaking awesome. I have my Ecstasy axes that I kinda like, but that definitely looks like something. There wasn't something up here, no. Wasn't there? No. Collapsed. Before I forget, just equip the thing, because again, we're using the sword, and then we're using the spike. It's gonna be very helpful. And we're also like directly next to the tower. We only have to go this little way. Well then. Sword. But yeah, that looks like the exact same statue like in Marastan. Like, exactly the same. And we even have more statues of... Is that the queen? No, that... I mean, they're wearing similar armors. So it could be, but it also could just be people... like, in her... like, maybe some kind of knights guarding her or something. And of course, the eye is ever present. Okay, bigger knights. I'm not sure what I expected, but this is quiet. Like, quiet, quiet. Like no one has been here for ages. Which I guess makes some kind of sense. But I'm also kind of surprised that I don't like get just overrun with limbic entities. Like they are in every other ruin, so why not here? Yeah, it's just multiple of these knight statues. You look different? No, we're just seeing you from a different angle for the first time. Now the door doesn't open. That would have been the biggest funny thing. I wanted to go in here because I was like, I don't want to do an entire complete like thing here, but like maybe this is a ginormous area that I just opened. There are the limbic entities. Yay, I'm not alone. And I completely did not press the button. Alright, someone out there does not know how to park and somehow triggered an alarm. I'm not sure if that's gonna be in the recording or not. But hopefully it isn't. Because that was annoying, to say the least. Oh, can I hit all of you? Yes, I can, indeed. Yes, indeed, that worked. Okay, good door. Very good door. You're a dead end. You are not. You're a closet? No. Ooh. Very big one of the depiction of the eye that we had at the start of the area. Oh. I thought we could actually go through here somewhere, but no. No, we cannot. Okay, then this is our way. Okay, I know I turned ambience down for certain reasons last time, but this is the wrong menu. But right now I'm kind of freaked out that there's like nothing happening. That's just music. I don't want to actually like make it too loud. Oh, one of you. No. Okay, you can dodge it. You just need to be good at it. Which means I have a skill issue. Not like that is anything new. I think there have been a lot of moments that definitely showcase that I'm not the best. Every single time now I find something red, I'm like, ooh, is it a prison? Because they can be. And those are very interesting to find. Just this one room for a random consumable and one enemy, nothing else? Okay, if you say so. There's nothing more here? No, okay. Let's go over this definitely completely functional bridge that is not at all gonna be a problem. Every single time something like this is there, I'm like, this will break. 100%. You cannot tell me that this just magically stays completely intact. Because it is already this broken. So like, it probably doesn't take much more to collapse further. Or to collapse completely. Okay, no door over here. So that means we're going through... Oh, that's even worse than the other phases. It is interesting though that she is always like, and we have a lot of symbolism with the two serpents, or rather two-headed serpents. Even though TR is like the evil and whatnot, and this is the tower to purge evil, it's very interesting that this tower still has so much serpent symbolism. And also around Senadra Forest, in a lot of the things we read and stuff, we had a lot of it. And you might expect that we should not have a lot of it, because, like, the serpent is the evil thing. So why are you putting this much symbolism out? And not like symbolism of like something killing the serpent or something like that. Why is it just depicted like that? Literally in this case like framing the head of the queen. If your queen is such so great and like cleansing the land of sin and all. Like, why are you depicting it like this? This feels weird. I'm guessing we're gonna get answers to that. This is just a prison cell. Kind of expected that to actually have like an entire extra doorway somewhere, but no, these are just prison cells. These are pretty fancy prison cells. Like, look in this room. Like, this is not a room that looks like, oh, these are prison cells. That is not what it looks like at all. More queen heads. And spiked staircases. These are not like... These are just made in here. Like, what the frick? Why would you do that? Oh, God. This is all blood on the floor. Like, did you just force people to run down here and have all these spikes? Like, were they like hundreds of people together and they had to like fight for space, and whoever comes close to the side, well, you're getting impaled or scraped. Literally get your skin torn off. Oh my God. This entire room is filled with so many dead people and also so many limbic entities. Have at thee! Wait, do they not have a health bar? They don't have a health bar. What? What the hell is this? They're not normal. Let no Sabinian wretch, no cursed husk of the walking dead pass beyond this threshold adorned in even a single thread. Stripped they shall be, laid bare as befits the despised and the doomed. Their garments unworthy of keeping shall be heaped here and cast into the cleansing fire. Oh, these are not just dead people. These are not dead people. These are just clothes. These are the dead people. So it's not as many as I expected. That doesn't change that it is kinda terrible. What's going on with you? Why are you like this? Hitting you once makes you like weirdly wobble and unstable. And hitting you again kills you. Weapon change. So if I hit you... Okay, or if I hit you once strongly, you also just completely cease to exist. But again, you don't have health bars. What is this? Why are you like this? Why are you this weird? That is a weird construction of like a balcony. That is a pile of something. And there's more stuff apparently being piled onto it. Multiple serpent heads, maybe? No, those are not serpents, are they? We're probably gonna get a better look at that room from actually inside of it or something, so I'm not gonna worry too much. We're gonna figure it out. Oh my god, it's so many. Okay. How to be as stupid as you can be. Bonk. That didn't actually get as many as I wanted. But it kinda works. Yeah. Oh, not again. Why are we getting more of these bugs? Okay, now hitting you 2 times is not enough? What are your rules? You are definitely different, but what is going on? More weird spikes that are just built into the room. A lot of spikes. Guess if you're the Queen of Torment, And you literally built this tower to have prisoners be executed and whatnot. Spikes are definitely one way to express. How do you get in there? We'll figure it out. I also found it quite interesting that we still have scaffolding here. Is the tower not finished? Abyss of Demise, Passage of Tending. Normally you don't just say tending, normally it is tending to something, so tending to what? Do you have pets? It's quite dark in here. There isn't really anything here. Are those bones? I mean, I did not expect this place to be nice and friendly and happy, but like... This does definitely... That is definitely a snake. Wonderful snakehead. This is definitely... Well, it is more than what I expected. Oh, we're inside of one of the snake's mouths. We can kind of go out. Not going to yet. Okay. Nothing too interesting. Where does this lead? They really like their long winding caves. Part of me actually is like thinking, could these be potential loading zones disguised? But then again, they also just have long corridors with actual stuff in them, so I don't think so. Also, it's still like directly part of all of this, so it really doesn't feel like it, but it is just... I don't know, sometimes you just have this feeling of something and you go, could it be? Potentially. This is how we get into this door. Key, rusted. An ancient, partially rusted skeleton key. Emergency stash. I expected to just have to open something in here. But emergency stash, like, I don't know, but this is not the place where you stash your rations for emergency, is it? Well, long winding caves without too much in them. Back to the big room and the giant freaking pile. And I guess we go down more ladders. Or we are too annoyed that it takes too long and don't take the ladders. God, this is massive. This is like so freaking ginormous. Like, Did I expect this tower to have like a scale? Yes, absolutely. I expected we have to go up somewhere, but I did not expect that we go down into a giant freaking tunnel or cave system full of this. This is... Look how massive this is. Ah, I think we could have gotten down there too. Now that I know that, we're gonna go back up and get it. Wow, worth it, absolutely. Definitely not at all potentially a waste. Ooh. Yeah, that feels better. Maybe we need the light anyway. This is a wild design. And something's shooting at me already. Found it. Very good. Glyph, Eager Embrace. We had that before, and now it's rank 2. Haven't tested that. Because it honestly didn't sound that great to just be able to stun one thing. But maybe it has its uses. Maybe. Maybe I should test it at some point. You're gonna get up. Yeah. Oh, you have a health bar. So there really is something special about the ones in that one room. Oh my god, I didn't see you. Like, I actually didn't see you for a moment. I was like, what is that? It's one of the enemies we have seen like 50 million times now. Oh god, hidden ladder. Do we ladder first or go we down first? I mean, go further this way. Okay, this way definitely looks like there is an elevator at the end. At least that's what it looks like. That feels like the way to go. Ladder first. And we have an entire side path to go. But we also have a barrel. Jeweled dagger. An old dagger with gemstones embedded in the hilt. And there's a sun symbol on it and something that seems to be a crest of some kind. But no symbol that we have seen, like, often. So it may be something different than all the groups that we've seen so far. Interesting. Just wanted to check. Okay, what is this way going to? What are you going to show us at the end? It's a chest that we can probably open with the key we found. Yeah, it has the symbol. Tuning stone? That's it? Well, there is a part of me that's like, at some point I probably actually want to maybe use those tuning stones to upgrade the weapon levels. To get every weapon like on the same level, but right now they are. So we need to like really get something that's like so far beyond everything else that I want to use before that is like an actual consideration. Because right now I don't know, like again, like all of them, they are on the same level. There's no reason really for the weapons. There's no reason to upgrade like one over the other right now. Okay, a lot of consumables for abilities. And that's it. Okay. Well then. Let us see wherever this takes us. After we, of course, looked around. I knew I heard something. Ah, we need something. We need another wheel to put in. Wonderful. Great. Absolutely. So that means, just to make sure this doesn't work yet. Yeah. Okay. So no journey to the depths of the tower yet. We have to deal with these guys first. And my inability to remember that they have a second hit. I think I mentioned that before even. It's amazing how much I like do not remember to actually finally like act accordingly to the things I know. Oh, come on. Gear, spire. A metal gear with large grooves found in Alka Spire. Well, I have to kill you. You know that, right? You could be for a new time loop, even though there hasn't been one yet. Again. And we have found one in here already. Well, we had multiple time loops in Akasa Marshes, so I don't take that as a reason. I do want to point out though that I'm like increasingly find enemies that just don't want to do things. And on the one hand I would be like, oh, it's probably like a memory leak issue or something, but then I'm like, where I stopped the last episode, I actually also stopped for the day. This is the next day. I record this not in all in one go. Like in most episodes are singular recording sessions. So it's not even that I've been playing for like 10 hours an end or something. We've been on it for about 3 now. This shouldn't be happening already.
Throw a rock in Hadia, and you will either hit a corpse, a cemetery, or a mass grave. That pile of bones, they've been at each other's throats for a long time.
Too long. The Sabinians were the victims this time. I'm sure if we look hard enough, we'll find a pile of Palamist bones out there somewhere.
Will they ever stop killing each other?
We can only hope.
Yeah. Hope is the only thing that remains. I mean, or if you look at something like this, maybe you lose all hope. Could all be a thing. Okay, these are just normal armors. Faded parchment. A worn, faded letter with cryptic writing and bearing a wax seal. It's the seal of the 3 swords. We saw that in Marastan. That has something to do with the queen, probably. Also, that thing up there in the middle, at the top in the middle of the parchment. It has the eye in it, but it also has parts of that symbol that we see at other places, mostly in Sinedra Forest. I think at some point I said that it looks like a crown, and I think now that it potentially might actually symbolize the queen. So maybe it is a crown in some way. Oh, and you don't have health bars again. Okay. Why are there just these, like, groupings of you? Okay, can I hit someone in the middle? Oh god, the lock-on with so many targets. Well, frigate. That was satisfying as hell. Gotta be honest. Yeah. They believe themselves our kin, but they are not. They deem themselves worthy to amend the sacred words of Zephyrus and his truest servant Palom, but they are unfit. They think their unearned wrath grants them leave to spill the blood of our children. It does not. They dream still of dwelling among us, of sharing harvest, customs, and tongue, but they shall not. These steps, slick with their lifeblood, lead upwards to their downfall. This is their end and their death. The best part about that is, since both of the sides do somewhat believe in Zephyrus, both sides could be, like, saying that. Ow. Okay, let 4 of them hit you at once and you will feel it. That should not be a surprise. That should be common sense. That explosion radius is bigger than it looks like. I mean, that's a good thing. Before we ascend to our high, rough berths, where we shall behold in triumph the fall of those unworthy, the defilers of our land, cast down by the thousands into rightful torment, we must first bow our heads in solemn prayer. Let us give thanks to Zephyrus, whose divine hand has granted us the strength to bear the sacred and fated duty. Doesn't open from this side. Yes. What symbol is that? That looks like it's the snake head. Yeah, it's a snake head. It's just pretty flat, which makes it look so weird. That is the place we just were at, right? Yeah. But you have health bars again. What the hell is this? Like, seriously. I want to kind of know what the point of this is. Why do some of them not have health bars? We're back on the staircase. But we're in a different part of the tower. So it's not the same staircase. Well, I guess we're going in there at some point. But first we're going to go all the way up. Into another room, hallway, I mean, with a lot of these. Goodness gracious. Okay. No, I don't want to aggro you one by it. I want to shoot past you. Okay, prisoner cells? But this one holds a limbic entity. That of course attacks us. Because why wouldn't it? But I think I asked the question, are the limbic entities actually just weird things that happen? Or are they people? With them being locked in the freaking cells, I think I have my answer. Potentially. Maybe they all were people at some point. I don't know. There's also have been like talks from the start of the game that the entities, the sounds they make, it sounds like cries of agony and similar things. Maybe we're doing something good by trying to kill them. Maybe we are kind of taking away their pain. Are you going to attack me or... Yes. Now every single one of them will be studied and see if they bug out. Because it has happened so many times now. Okay, we kind of need the light for the cells. Oh, that had more reach than expected. Okay. Wait a second, this is literally like a... Or it's the other way around. It's like a mirror image to the room we were in the... We're just gonna open them all and then go through them. Let them all come out and play. But no, this, the first ruins in the forest literally have a room that is 2 stories tall. And it has cages on both. This literally feels like it is the same room. Not kinda completely the same, but... I mean, I guess it definitely might be made by the same architects. But it could also symbolize that they actually made multiple of these. This is not the only prison they made. They had more like this. This is not just one jail. The tower might just be like the biggest or something. Why don't you... Hello? Okay, you at least wake up from your slumber afterwards. And now I can pull this one. Why can we not... Wow. Why can we not just pull them? It worked on the other side. I could just pull them on the other side. Why does it would work here? Do we have to like beat the enemy to pull the next one? What the hell is this? This has nothing to do with like exploring the story or something that I actually want to do here, but no. This is just like weird jank in whatever the hell is happening. Okay, there wasn't anything in there. This was a very much a waste of time. Would have been funny if this didn't open, if we actually have to go through the... well, the hole in the stairs. There is the symbol that I was talking about. On it. You can see it. There's a weird thing. It looks like a crown or something. Through your suffering, the way to your true final moment shall be opened. I mean, if you're executing them, then I guess that is true. Do we need to put something in there? No, we just need to stand... Ha 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 ha. Oh, what kind of frick door mechanism is that? Stand on this thing, the door will open, don't worry, and then it's just like... Bam, spikes. You do understand that if you actually stand someone on there and do that, they probably will not be able to actually walk through the door. This is a very terrible... Very terrible mechanism. Okay, skull, double serpent, tiara, the eye, a flame, the tower, and the moon. Wasn't there something that I joked about, like, oh, the moon is becoming symbolism now? I think I remember something like that. I don't know what it was, and I don't think it was that relevant, but... We have a half-moon symbol. There's a flame door. And that reads the number A3? A2. B3. B2. Ha. Where her ever-majestic carven likeness stands, the path is revealed to those who heed. Door does not open. Flame symbol. Okay, the flame lever opens that door, but how do I open these cages? That is a moon door. I didn't look at that. That's the eye door. Okay, and then we have the skull up there. Throning over everything else. That's great. That's wonderful. A4. Well, let's get our ankles. Ah! That took a lot. That was maybe just a little bit much. Mayhaps. I mean, I guess that's why they give us enemies, so that we can replenish our health. Because that is still the, like, predominant healing method in this game. Oh, come on. Okay. So it says where her carven likeness. So, where there is statue of Queen, door will open. Where there is no statue of Queen, things bad. The cage, graven with the skull sigil, shall stir and rise when any of the pressure plates B1, B2 and F1 feel the weight of blood and pain. Okay. This is A1 though. Does A1 do anything for us? Yes, indeed. But you said B1. B1, B2, F1. But we did A1 and did that close again? This was open. I wasn't dreaming that. Was I? Well, we know that B1 or B2 can open doors, so let's just take this freaking ow. Then run down here, because potentially this is a timed thing. It is. It is going down again. Oh, you are just evil. Okay, we pulled the lever. Is that also timed? I hope not. Okay, let's test it out. We pulled the lever. Potentially. Okay, no. Pulling the lever does it? But the skull is up there. Which door does that actually open? It actually doesn't help us right now. Don't have more statues. And I honestly don't want to spike myself more than I need to, so... More statue over there, but we can't get there right there. Okay, fine. Upstairs, more clues. Now we're at D1. And a hole. Okay, more holes. Don't forget we also have the other hole. The cage graven with the twin-headed serpent sigil shall stir and rise when any of the pressure plates E1, E3 and F4 feel the weight. Why did you make it this overly elaborate? This is not the other side. Is it? No, this is just here still. We're not getting to the other side with that. And this also doesn't give us to the other side, does it? This has a ladder though, actually. So there's no worry to be had, because we can just get back up anytime we want. Actually, it does. Okay. I am terrible at judging heights, apparently. Actually, I knew that. It's the same thing, but this one it's A1, B4 and D1. I did A1. And then didn't actually do the thing. So. And then I looked down there and was like, hey, the cage was open, but I guess then it was too late. Okay. There is another... Oh god, what is this room? What is this room? A2, A1. Okay. So, big ouch. But that should have lifted one of the cages. It did. Now the cage is up there. Okay. The tower we have already. None of these are doors that are directly here. We're opening doors that I don't really know where they are. That's always helpful and great. The next one we can open is the serpent, but again, we don't really know where that is. Oh! Well, there is a door with specific symbols. Tower and skull, and the other one I can't see. Okay, we need to go up more and figure more of this out. We don't have what we need here. We need E1, E3, F4. We're at D, not at F. How does this open? Tell me we're doing B2 and then this one also will work? Nah, I'm not going to step on them if I don't have a direct reason. I have been punctured enough. Each pressure plate, when burdened with agony, shall also unbar the two cells that stand on both sides. You don't say, I already noticed that. I have the question as to why you would design a prison like this. Are you banking on all the people in here that's like being willing to sacrifice each other to help one another or something? And you hope that they all go through so much agony that they actually all die? Is that the plan? Each pressure plate where the numeral 4 is etched calls forth the opening of all prison cells within its section. There are 6 separate sections. Okay, number 4 opens all cells. That's good to know. We have a reason to go for 4. I'm not sure if we live that. Well, now I am happy that I get all of these. Okay, this is actually terrible, now that I think about it. I have all of these. Like, I have a lot of these. But what about the people that didn't? What about the people that actually, like, used them? Are you just stuck at this then? If you can't heal yourself, you just have to, like, actually die and go back? That sounds like terrible game design. Ow. Or you just have to, like, use these to heal yourself, I guess. I don't know. This one didn't open. You're lying to me. It's not all. This one goes up. We haven't been up yet. I actually want to go down again. Oh my goodness. Signet Ring of Terror. Confidence. Limbic Sphere Terror. Yeah, it's a Ring of Terror, so that makes sense. Remaining undamaged will increase your damage dealt. Melee damage plus 20%. Again, not necessarily bad. Can we look at what that is? It looks blank. Why is it blank? Wait, we can figure it out. Tower. Serpent symbol. And on that side, over the top, was the skull. So the serpent is the other one to open big door. Okay, cool. Cool. So, if I do E4, which will be ouchie, I will open everything in here. Okay. That was very close. Holy! Damage increase after parry. Saves the day again through healing. This is... like... in video games, there is a certain type of place always that people don't like. This one is something that I don't have a comparison to, but I think this one definitely goes into the list of like, this is not a great design, this is not necessarily fun, this is kinda just... ugh. Wasn't E3 one of the ones that we need? But if I do this now, I have to like go down all the way. Welp! Ow. Let's see if this is fast enough. Oh my god. It's not gonna be fast enough at all. It is not gonna be fast enough at all because we... how did we even... I'm stuck at the door. How did we even get here? No! I took that damage absolutely for nothing because I am not making this fast enough. Like... not at all. Actually, I did. Or... huh? Why can I not open door? Why can I not pull lever? Game? Hello? Do we have a problem? Should I just give it up for today and restart? Like, the cage is not coming down, but it is literally not letting me interact with this. It doesn't actually give you forward momentum, which is so annoying, but... Well... I feel like this is gonna take longer anyway. I mean, okay, fine. It was obvious that the tower would take longer, and I was like, oh, we can cramp it in here, but like, maybe, potentially, this is the time where I'm like, we should maybe just... potentially... restart. But then again, where's the last save point? Oh... It's not even in here. Oh, goodness gracious. We did a lot of reading today. Some side stuff, a lot of side stuff actually that I missed or just didn't do. I feel like we definitely accomplished things. But I also had like a lot of buggy stuff happen this episode, and this definitely takes the cake of like, is this a fail? Do you have to solve the whole thing first? Do I have to like do the right ones and you can't actually open these? Or can you only open these afterwards or something? Or is this actually just a bug that I should be able to now pull the lever and it doesn't work? I don't like this. I like actually really don't like this. Well, I'm gonna see if I find a save point. And I'm gonna try to restart the game and let's see what happens to that lever. Okay, we're back. Cage is down. So that might be the bug. It's a visual bug. I was not supposed to be able to pull it because the cage wasn't actually up. Okay, I can live with that, but it feels terrible. But okay. At least that gives us an idea of what's actually going on. And the game is not completely broken or anything, it's just that this wonderful little moment didn't really work. Okay. Not great. Pretty bad. C3, C4, and E4. Okay. So, we were never really supposed to do that, like that. What was this again? You know, E1, E3, F4. This is F. F1 also did something. And yeah, there's the snake symbol. No, that is blank. Okay. So I'm guessing because it's tower, snake, and over there on the other statue, because these are also both statues, I'm guessing it's the skull. Those are the three we have to open this. Okay. Well, F4 opens all the things up here. Ow. So let's see what we're getting. Obviously, we're getting enemies. But I take enemies over the freaky... whatever the hell happened with that lever. Okay, now one of the cages was potentially raised. Yeah, that one is moving down. Okay, so that does actually activate that cage, and we have to then make our way down. One of the best ways to do so might be to just jump over here and jump down. That will cause extra fall damage. So we have to be careful if we mess it up once. If we try to do it again, we definitely have to heal. Moon Door. C1, D3, F3. There's a part of me that wants to just freaking actually write everything down, but I'm like, no. Frig it. That is so much freaking work for potentially nothing. Ow. Do not, we can't go down there. Oh no, we're... I'm on the wrong side! No! This is just the one that tells us, okay, yeah. 6 separate sections. Oh. Okay. Healing. This is not the way. Were we over there yet? No. Were we over here? This is C1. C1 opens one of them. Okay. We can test C1. Wonderful. Go down here. Run around. Directly run down. That is the cage that we just opened. And we can pull it. Okay, we opened one of the side doors. So now we can see if these are worth it. And it's living quarters. Okay, let's just be honest. I am not someone who's going to judge people's decorations, because people have very different tastes. But be honest with me. Do you want Screamy Queen in your freaking room? Like, these are bunk beds. There are people actually sleeping here. And this thing, ugh. Why would you put that there? Great Sword of Terror. That is it? But one of these might have something that's more than that. Gare. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. We can't go to the other side. Oh my goodness. This is very much here and there just confusing. I said something about like the level design in this game is actually pretty good. For the most part, I would say yes. This room, no. This room is a nightmare. This room is utterly flipped. Like, what did you do it like this? Why? What is the point? This gets us over to the other side, to the C's, and then we can go up to E. Okay, and this has a direct way down. Okay. I'm familiarizing myself with how things work, because if we go up here, this should give us E1. We haven't done E1 yet. We haven't been here. A4, D4, and F2 is for the flame. Okay, just short look, and then we're gonna press E1. I think E1 is for something that we haven't done yet. And then now, it definitely brought up one of them, and now we know where to go. Hopefully we're fast enough to just run down the stairs. And hopefully it actually lets us do the thing. Okay, you're the one. Snake. That's the big door. Okay, cool. Wonderful. We need eye and flame. It's not that much. So the eye was shown up here, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. And the eye was C3, C4, E4. We're on C1, so if we get to the other side over there, we now know how to do that. We can do that. We can do that. Easy, easy, easy. Just need to run around again. Take this path again. And then we can do... Doesn't matter. Take C4. Because it's a funnier number. Actually, that's not funny at all, but... I'm just not gonna say anything to that. Whee! And this is... This time it works. Okay. Woohoo! Actually works. And it is another room, just like the first one, and the only thing we get is a glyph. Night Fade. Rank 2. That is undetectable as the invisibility one. Okay, we have a bigger, better version of that. Didn't use it in the first place, so okay. Okay, so most of these are done. Now we have to just do the flame. How do we go up there again? Oh god, this is definitely a place. Like, honest opinion, this game is designed by... Actually, wait a moment. It's D4. D4 is fine. We're just gonna take care of the enemies first. But D4 is fine. D4 works. We don't have to do too many ridiculous things if we just have a simple answer in front of us. So it is down again. So we just get spiked. Ow. Cage rises and we run. Boom. Open is everything in here. Marked map of Hadia. A map of Hadia from many centuries ago. There are locations marked all over the country. Okay, the marks look like time loops, potentially. They are weird... Well, yeah, spheres with thingies. There is a big mountain, which I'm guessing is gonna be Mount Obek. We have Senator Forest with the tower. We have multiple, like, villages, settlements, towns. All very interesting. But it doesn't fully help us, does it? Because the problem with that is we can only go certain places, right? So, like, it doesn't actually, like, give us any info that we can just use. This is not an open world where we actually have a map that we can just go to and be like, oh, we haven't been there. Oh, we haven't been there. It's like, if the game has a location, we can go there, and then we're gonna find out that there's a time loop anyway by just killing certain enemies. So, like, as cool as that is, and also cool to see that, like, the people in the past actually mark these things. That probably, I mean, actually we can just look it up. I was trying to figure out what the use is, and is it for Tanya? It is. Okay. It's a Tanya item. That makes more sense. Sure. Well, I think we did enough this episode. I'm going to think hard if I want to do the door up there first, or if we're gonna go through the hole first. Because I'm not sure. Depending whatever I do, that's where we're gonna continue next time. So, hope you enjoyed. Hope if you play the game, it does not have annoying little bugs or whatever happened here. And maybe you don't have to restart. Otherwise, have fun, have a nice day. Till next time.